Hey y'all, Rebecca and Heidi are here. We just left a midnight Weight Watchers
That's
meeting.
right, a midnight meeting. It's like 12:55 a.m. right now, Sunday morning.
Yeah, I cannot believe that we went to a midnight meeting. In fact, when we drove up, we thought we were here 20 minutes early because it was like everybody was getting in at 11:30, but it wasn't going to start till midnight. But they had some giveaways and stuff. I thought we were going to be the first ones here.
And we weren't.
And we were not, and we were 20 minutes early.
What's funny is that the Weight Watchers meeting is right next to a bar, and I think that the Weight Watchers meeting was just as hopping as the bar was.
Yeah, there were tons of people there. We were all in our pajamas. It was a PJ party. How many people would you say were there?
I don't know, probably 60 or 70.
Yeah, I should have counted. Yeah, the seats were full. All the seats were full in our Weight Watchers meeting, and they said that we are the only meeting in Texas.
And maybe one in Wisconsin, and those are the only ones in the
Maybe
West.
there was a midnight meeting in Wisconsin, but like we were going to get the charms first and learn about our new program first. And so we're really excited. That's what we're here to talk to you about, kind of our impressions, our thoughts about what we learned. So let's go ahead and start. The first thing is we got awesome charms. You're going to be really excited if you go to meetings to get these charms. They're actually really pretty and cool to rub your fingers on. I'm all about texture, so I was sitting there during the meeting rubbing my fingers on it. The second thing is they introduced the new program, which in the United States is called
the Freestyle
program.
Yeah.
And tell us, Rebecca, why don't you tell us what you learned?
Okay, so things that are, I think, big changes about the Freestyle program. There are more 0-point foods. So
Woo-hoo!
I know. So like skinless chicken breast, skinless turkey breast are 0 points now instead of being 3 points or 2 points for however many ounces. So that's a really big shift. As eggs are 0 points. Heidi, there's a 0-point food you're really excited about.
Non-fat yogurt
is now 0 points.
Is 0 points, which is really exciting. I feel like I've been gifted dessert.
So we spent a lot of our time in the meeting thinking about desserts that could include 0-point yogurt.
Because that's the one thing I lack. Like every night I'm like, I want to sit down with a dessert. I want to sit down with something sweet because I'm a sweet person. And so I feel like I've been gifted desserts. Like now I can have my yogurt and fruit, and it's a totally guilt-free meal.
So the other big change with the new program is that your daily points go down a little bit to, accommodate the fact that there's some points
now
that
you
are
say a little bit. So on average, they say it's 7 points per person.
Yeah.
Mine went down 12 because I have a lot more to lose than the average Weight Watcher, I guess. So that's a lot of points to lose. So that is something that is makes me a little nervous. But seeing the full list of free foods, I'm confident that I'll be able to stay full.
Well, so kind of on a sidetrack. So Heidi, you and Lisa had been researching like all the new things, and you guys knew ahead of time that it would go down. And then the app represented that, and then they took it offline, and that's why the app I think has had so many problems this week. But so you sent a screenshot of what points would be, and I had a freak out because I was like, I don't want to not have any food points. But so I had a freak out before I actually went to the meeting. Feeling like I was going to die, and starve to death. But
She did. So she was Facebook messaging Lisa and I, like, I'm going to die! And, like, these really big, bold letters.
Yes. But after the meeting, I'm not feeling that way. I'm feeling more optimistic and feeling like it just helps to have more whole, healthy food options. Mm-hmm. But so the other side of that is that you have daily rollover points now, which is, I think, groundbreaking.
This is probably the thing that I'm excited about the most is the rollover concept. Go ahead.
So you can have up to 4 points a day.
And you're thinking, 4 points the next day, that's not a big deal. But then it's per day. Go on.
It's per day. Sister. So what that means is that you can end up with 28 extra points. 24 extra points. It caps off. Extra points at the end of your week. So let's say, for example, you have Christmas coming up or New Year's Eve coming up, and you know that there's an event that you're going to go and use a lot of points. The app will automatically roll it over into the next day if you're under
Up to 24. So it's not just 4 a day, like we'll go to the next day, but like those will continue to roll if you have, I mean, from that 4.
Yeah.
That, you know.
Now, I don't know if that goes to the next week as well, or if a new week begins a new thing.
I imagine the new week probably just begins a new thing. I don't know. We didn't ask that. I didn't even think about it.
I didn't either.
But this is really exciting because I like to go out to eat Friday and Saturday, right? That's like the time that like our family finally goes out to eat, or I might make, you know, a more indulgent meal rather than those quick ones that I make during the week. And it's exciting that like I don't have to feel bad about that. I can plan ahead for Friday because I know that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm pretty good about staying on track. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's the weekends that are harder, and knowing that I can plan ahead for that is awesome.
Well, and I've been struggling lately with consistent tracking. That I know that's something that works for me, but something about the holiday season in my mind, it's like a free for all, and that means I don't need to track anymore too. But if part of the game of Freestyle is that if I don't track, I don't get rollover points.
Right.
And so there's incentive for me to track every day to make sure that I get my rollover points. Mm-hmm. And I like games. I like mental challenges. So thinking of a way that I can craft my meals so that I can have rollover points feels like I'm getting a reward, a non-food reward that I may or may not use in the future. But just every day, kind of, that's something I feel like I would get excited about.
Yeah, I totally, I agree. And that makes you want to be honest about your tracking, because sometimes I'm not so honest, or if I know that I'm gonna, you know, go over, I might not track, or but because I know that there's a payoff by tracking honestly, and you know, that will make me want to do it.
Yeah,
because it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
you know, if I use those rollovers, I'm really excited about the rollovers. That's probably the thing the yogurt and the rollovers I'm thrilled about. And
I'm feeling excited about having like skinless turkey breast be 0 points and having eggs be 0 points. I don't have a ton of eggs, but I have it probably 3 or 4 times a week. I'll have an egg. But every salad I ever have has turkey breast on it, and so I'm excited about what that means. And so, you know, I started thinking of all the things that I could eat. So all of a sudden I'm like, what if I got a wrap and I had like turkey breast and then Velveeta? That's 3 points, whereas it used to be more. I make these little breakfast sandwiches that have on the 3-point Thomas Bagel Thins and then an egg and a slice of Velveeta. That's been 7 points or 6 points, and now that's going to go down to 4 points. And so it's kind of exciting to think about what are some food options and what that looks like. And they gave tons of new books today. Yeah, we got a lot of books. A lot of new information.
And a lot of some of it's just the same information that you may have got, like how to use the app and stuff. Right. But some of the information, it was almost like, you know, when you start a Weight Watchers, you're totally overwhelmed.
Absolutely.
And so getting the books again with this information, I feel like I almost feel like some of it, all of it was totally brand new information, because I was looking through it with a different lens of like a better understanding.
Yeah, and having done this now for several months, being able to kind of think about how this would work in my life. I'm curious, those of you who've been doing this before, if you, or for longer, I guess, when there are changes like this, I'm curious if this is as big of a rollout as they normally do, or if this is a substantial change that they did a bigger kind of... Yeah. Because we got a lot of workbooks today that I was surprised that they gave. So I'll be curious to hear from those of you that have been doing this longer, or maybe lifetime for a couple years. But
yeah, so you mentioned being excited about the turkey breast, or the turkey in general. I when you were mentioning that, I was then rethinking about how still I was excited about the yogurt, because I then started thinking, ooh, I wonder if I could make a ranch out of it. Could I use chive and garlic and make like a dip? What about a sauce for my chicken? I feel like I've been gifted like a cream sauce. Like, I don't even know how to explain how excited I am about yogurt.
Okay, Heidi, if you could make a ranch. So, you know, we're in Texas, y'all, so ranch is king down here.
Right.
So if you could find a way to make a ranch-ish
that was decent enough that like really you could dip vegetables in it.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Bold.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
I'm really excited about that.
I know. Yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to try out some more recipes this week. Yeah. I mean, there's like a Kroger next door. I feel like I need to go get to the Kroger and pick up, you know, a whole bunch of shellfish. Right. Oh, that was the other thing. So crab. So it said shellfish, and it gave the examples. that it had, you know, like shrimp and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I wonder if crab is, because I really like crab. Crab is free. Not the imitation crab, because that's not really crab.
Not the butter that you dip it in.
Not the butter that you dip it in. No. But the crab itself, and if you have a crab boil, you put in corn, you might put in potatoes.
Corn's
but you can always
free.
skip the corn's free.
How do we not say that? Corn
Peas
is
are free.
Peas are free. Beans are free.
So if you have a crab boil and flavor it, that could be a totally free meal, and that is so filling.
Yeah.
And you haven't even touched your extra points that you actually have. You can spend that on chocolate.
Yeah, so, okay, back to corn and beans. So we have an aunt who she makes this really good kind of kitchen soup, sort of whatever you got in your pantry thing. But, you know, corn and beans and tomatoes, and I use ground turkey. So now that would be 0 points. Mm-hmm. It would be 0 points for a bowl of that. I could have 17 bowls of that. I wouldn't, because, you know, but it's 0 points. And so I'm really excited that I feel like this has opened up a lot of other recipe ideas.
And just like it was when we first started Weight Watchers, you had to make adjustments. You have to think, like, how is this going to fit in my day? And I feel that same thing. Like, I don't eat turkey for lunch, but I don't know that I even have any turkey at my home, you know, but I need to go get some and, like, incorporate it. It's going to be, I feel like this week is going to be, it's going to be a little rough. It's going to be rocky in some ways because you're just learning.
Gotta adjust.
But I feel like for the first time, I'm feeling like, you know, if I use all my points at the beginning on, you know, if I have cookies for breakfast, which I do sometimes, then, like, that doesn't mean that I have to be unsatisfied and starving the rest of the day on fruits and vegetables. Because, you know, clementines are just not as fulfilling as a piece of turkey or a piece of chicken. Like, they're just not. And so I can have a nutritious and healthy dinner that fills me up and leaves me satisfied and leaves me, you know, not wanting to quit every moment of the day.
Well, and
when I'm hungry.
So for those of you that go to meetings, like in stores and things like that, they've had the posters of, I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but it's like breakfast ideas, and it says you can have like a croissant for like 11 points, or you can have this omelet for 7 points, right? And it's a really pretty omelet. So that same omelet that used to be 7 points is now 3 points. Mm-hmm. And so there are just a lot of, you are going to lose dailies, but there are adjustments with that. So I guess part of why I'm talking about that is that I don't like change. I'm resistant to change. I do not have a growth mindset.
I've been sending her growth mindset memes throughout the week, getting her prepped for this meeting.
Because I don't naturally have that. Mm-hmm. And so I was feeling anxious about those changes, and I'm feeling excited about it. So if you are like me and experience some hesitancy when there are changes, or you're feeling afraid about kind of maybe a scarcity feeling that you're having, I'm going to lose points, give it a try, go to a meeting, talk to them about it. I'm feeling excited. You know, I think it'll work. They said that on average, people are losing more weight. They're feeling more satisfied. It's a more livable approach. Weight Watchers does things on research. And so I trust research. I'm willing to give it a try, you know. So
our first podcast that we did, we talked about, like, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting Weight Watchers now that we've been in it for a few months and we've got a little success under our belts? And I think the advice that Rebecca said at the very beginning, which is just drink the Kool-Aid. Allow yourself to go in with an open mind and drink the Kool-Aid and just give it a try. I would love to hear your guys' recipe ideas.
Yep. What do you do with that for yogurt?
What are you doing with the yogurt? What herbs and spices are you putting in it to make it wonderful? I want to know. Do you have any other thoughts, or should we wrap this up? It's 1 o'clock. We're gonna try to get this. We're actually gonna head over to an IHOP and try to upload this
for the Wi-Fi.
Well, maybe for the pancakes, but for the Wi-Fi, we're gonna try to upload this tonight so that we can get it out to everybody. So yeah, hit us up on eatcrunchy.com or on our Facebook page, which is Eat Crunchy, with facebook.com/eatcrunchy.
And you guys, we're in this together. We're struggling just like you're struggling. We're having success just like you're having success. You're not alone in the process. Like, stay with it. Give it a try.
I can't wait to hear. Anyway, we'll have more updates for you next week. Lisa wasn't here, but she'll be here next week. And I hope. Anyway, she was sleeping because it's midnight.
So
so anyway, all right, bye.